Have you ever had that moment? You take a step back, you look at your life, and from the outside, everything seems okay. You've got stability, routines, maybe even a good amount of comfort. And still, there's this quiet little feeling inside that something's missing. It's like a quiet whisper, right? It usually shows up when you're alone. You go through your day, you do everything you're supposed to do, you keep yourself busy, but underneath all of that, that one little question just lingers. Is this really it? And that's exactly what makes this whole thing so confusing. I mean, you have food, you've got a roof over your head, your basic survival needs are totally met. By any external measure, things look good. But that checklist on the outside doesn't match what's going on inside. There's this invisible void, this kind of hollow feeling that you just can't quite put your finger on. And it can feel so isolating, like you're the only one who feels this disconnect. So, before we go any further, the most important thing to hear right now is this. If this feeling resonates with you at all, please know you're not alone. And you are not flawed for feeling this way. This is a deeply, deeply human experience. Okay, so to really understand this feeling of emptiness, we have to look past just our basic survival needs. There's more to the story. And here it is, the core of it all. See, on one side, you have survival needs, the things that literally keep us alive. But then there's this whole other category, emotional needs, the stuff that makes us feel alive. And it is entirely possible to have a life overflowing with the first kind and be completely starved of the second. This brings us to this really powerful idea called emotional nourishment. That emptiness you might be feeling, it's not a sign that you failed. It's a sign that you're running low on this specific kind of fuel for your heart and for your soul. So, if we're lacking this emotional nourishment, where exactly does that void come from? Well, it seems to bubble up from three main sources in our lives. First up, there's a huge difference between being looked at and being truly seen. We all have this deep, fundamental need for someone to get our inner world. Our hopes, our fears, the person we are when we take off the daily mask. This is such a critical point. You can be in a crowded room, totally surrounded by people, and still feel completely, utterly alone. Real connection isn't about physical presence, it's about that emotional closeness, that feeling of being understood. The second source of this emptiness is when your life has plenty of comfort, but not a lot of meaning. When your days just feel like they're on a loop, when you're just living on autopilot, your heart can start to feel hollow because it's just not engaged. I absolutely love this way of looking at it. The feeling isn't necessarily a void, it's a sign. A sign that your creativity, your curiosity, your passions, your very soul are stuck inside. They need a way out, a way to come alive in the world. And number three, this emptiness can really start to grow when we lose touch with who we are. This happens a lot when we spend years focusing on what we should do, what everyone else expects from us, or what feels safe, instead of listening to what we actually, truly want. And what this really tells us is that this void isn't some kind of judgment on your life. It's a signal. It's a message that your inner voice, your true desires, and the real you have been pushed aside for way too long and are basically running out of air. Okay, so if that's what's going on, what's the way forward? Let's talk about some gentle, real-world steps you can take to start reconnecting and finding that nourishment again. Look, this is not about some massive life overhaul. It starts small. First, just speak your truth, honestly, to someone you really, really trust. Then, try to find just one thing a day that feels genuinely like you. Or create something, anything. Don't worry if it's messy or perfect. Maybe just write down whatever your heart is trying to say, even if it feels jumbled. And finally, and this is a big one, give yourself permission to just feel your emotions instead of just pushing through the day. Each one of these small steps helps your inner world start to breathe again. And that, right there, is the ultimate shift in how we see this. That feeling of emptiness, it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not a problem to be fixed. It's a message. It's coming from a deeper part of you, telling you that you deserve so much more than just survival. It's telling you that you deserve real connection, real meaning, and a life that feels authentic and truly yours. So the real question to leave you with is this. If you can get quiet for just a moment and really listen, what is your heart trying to tell you?